The world's pretty self. Like there was, I forget it was a CEO, and it came out the other day. A leaked like Zoom call. She was talking to all her employees, and she took like a $5 million bonus to, or a pay upgrade for herself, right?
Jeez.
And she cancelled all bonuses for employees. So the employees now can't get bonuses at their work, and all these, and the whole Zoom call was all these employees sending emails like, "Hey, what's my motivation if I'm not getting bonuses?"
Correct.
And this woman came on, and she's like, "Look, I had a boss previously that said you can visit Pity City, but you can't stay there." And part of me was like, I love that. But second, you can't use that on your employees. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Morokai to Eyes. We're back on every single Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, 7 a.m. on Spotify and 4:30 p.m. on YouTube.
Mate, do I have something to tell you?
Oh, mate, hit me.
So, do you know the Australian comedian Lewis Spears?
I think so.
Yeah, well, he's come under a bit of strife.
Oh, what has he done?
Like, so, I don't know if you've seen in the news, I think it happened maybe last week.
Talk to me.
About the Dalai Lama and his antics that he got up to. Ooh. The Dalai Lama,
is that the guy who like sucked that kid's tongue?
Yes. So that's been going everywhere. A lot of controversy about it. Apparently, he like had a meeting with Lady Gaga one time and like started like rubbing her knee, like rubbing her thigh or something like that.
I want to show the video on YouTube, but I feel like I would get like a band.
Yeah, probably.
And do you know that video? If anyone doesn't know what we're talking about, it's the Dalai Lama and kids are coming up. I don't know why they're coming up at something. And anyway, he's like, "Stick your tongue out," and the kid's like, "Okay," and he starts sucking on the kid's tongue.
Yeah, it's really weird. It's uncomfortable.
What level of a power trip are you on? If you're like just sucking kids' tongues in public?
It's just not okay. Like it's simply like not okay.
Do you know what's funny too? This happened like 4 or 5 months ago. It only just came out the other day, but it happened ages ago.
Oh right, wow, that's crazy. So, anyways. One of the skits that Lewis Spears has done in his comedy show is like he's made a joke about like referencing that. Mate, it has started a riot outside of this comedy club where he's performing. They were riding out there for like an hour, like wanting to cancel like Lewis Spears, like how dare he make these jokes, etc., etc., etc. Anyways, one of Lewis Spears' fans went outside, pretended to join the protest so he could get a protest poster. He then brought it inside so then Lewis Spears could sign it and all that. Lewis Spears got interviewed by like Channel 7, Channel 9 and all that, and they're like, "Oh, do you think you're going to be stopped making these like crude jokes and all that?" He's like, "No, probably not." He's like, "This is great promotion for me. Like, I love this." He's like, I've nearly been cancelled before. Like, I just don't care. Like, it's just part of my thing. And in all seriousness, if you think that me joking about what he did is a problem, then I think you should go take a hard look, because do you really think that it's appropriate for... I have no idea, by the way, how old the Dalai Lama is, but...
Pushing 60, sure.
Yeah, sort of thing. It's like, if the problem's my comedy, but not about like a 6-year-old sucking a young boy's tongue, who's the real people that we have an issue with here? And I was just like, he's so true.
Yeah.
I understand these rights and all that because maybe that's what the people believe in, or, you know, like if that's they're like God that they look up to, sort of thing. But I'm just like, yeah, the real issue here is an older person sucking a young boy's like that. That's not okay. Like that's the issue, not this comedy skit.
That is an issue.
I'm just like, why is there such a problem? Like, and again, and I know I don't want to touch on previous episodes that we've done here, but again, he's a comedian. It's a joke.
Yeah, some people are getting worse and worse. Comedians. They're some are so bad. The protesters would, in certain scenarios, the biggest hypocrites you've ever seen. The funniest one I've ever seen was I think it was in England, and whatever was happening, the whole point was that they weren't letting refugees into the country.
Oh, big one.
All right. And all these people are going to the streets, they're protesting and saying, how horrid, how horrific is this? And this guy came around with just this pen and paper, and he looked like a proper professional, and he goes around and he goes, "Hey, look, we've got an amazing opportunity. We've actually got some refugees that we can house. Would you be open to housing a refugee for a month in your own home? They can come into the country." And he went around and every single protester, oh, no, I haven't got any room. I haven't got any room. No. Each person, I just couldn't. There's no room in my house. And by the end of it, he went up to one person. He's like, could you house a refugee? And then she goes, oh, no. And he goes, let me guess, no room? He's like, yeah, no room in my house. So they're the biggest bunch of hypocrites. They love just going out there.
Make a statement, but then completely against what they're backing anyway.
I guarantee so many people that would go to those protests would do it just so it's like someone who goes to a Taylor Swift concert and records the whole time. Look, I've been at Taylor Swift
I was about
concert.
to say, it's like one of those things where it's like, look what I did.
Yeah, look what I did.
I'm sending a message.
Yeah, none of them are actually. It's the same with there was a big protest. This was the best one. There was police officers in Melbourne removing homeless people from the streets in a certain area because they were camping out and it was making this street like horrid, like it was horrific, right? And pretty much people weren't feeling safe because they're walking past and it's just nothing but homeless people sleeping in this street. Police go to remove these people, and then there's all these like citizens coming up and it's like, how dare you, this is their home, and some YouTuber comes back, he's like, mate, perfect, I agree, it's their home. He's like, his interviewer was like, exactly, where else are they going to go? He's like, mate, you're spot on. Hey, how about your place, mate? You're so passionate about this. And I love it. And he's really feeding. He's like, I love your passion. You're spot on. They have nowhere to go. How about one of them just goes to your place? And the guy just calms right down. He's like, oh, nah. I couldn't do that. Like, there's no way.
I can't help him.
Why not? Oh, I don't know. I live pretty far out, actually. And she's like, oh, it's all right. They'll take a bus. And he's like, no, I'm just going to go. And that, mate, they're all full of shit. I can't believe that. They're all full of shit.
That's so embarrassing. Imagine doing that. And I can just see, like, that person making statuses of on Facebook, like, sharing, like, this needs to stop. All of that stuff, only to then be recorded and have that uploaded, and it's like your face. And it's like, isn't that the guy that posts all the time saying,
man, the TikTok I saw the other day, it was so funny. There was a guy who was in America, and it was just a stitched TikTok, and pretty much there was a news report about how the transgendered bathrooms, like now a lot of people might be able to go into a female bathroom if they're a male, vice versa. Anyway, they're talking about that, and then it cuts this guy, like this country bloke who would love a bit of Bud Light, just sitting there in his truck. Of course, it's his truck going. And if you walked past my 17-year-old daughter, you'd get one of these, and he's holding up his fist like, I wouldn't let that stand. And it's like, oh, look at you defending your daughter. And then it just cuts to another person being like, hi, Sam Smith in Texas, is this you? And it comes out that he has a criminal record for raping his 17-year-old babysitter.
Holy shit.
So, man, so many times you see all these people, so many people are fucking fake, and you don't know their, like, history. So many people just... It's like...
That's true, though.
There was an episode of Friends, and I think it was Joey was talking to Phoebe about how there's no selfless act.
Okay, yeah.
Okay? There's no selfless act. For example, you know how I'm doing the volunteering? For me, I really just want to get an idea of, like, fuck, this is what the future is. Appreciate life, man. Help out people. In a way, you could spin that if you wanted and say, that's a little selfish, right?
You kind of could, yeah.
Exactly. You could spin so many scenarios.
You definitely can.
But it's hard to think of a full-on selfless act where there's nothing, because even if you donate to a busker, you're doing that to feel good.
Correct.
Right? So you're helping yourself.
Actually so spot on.
Again, it goes to that thing we've talked about before where it's like you can spin any scenario to make someone look good or bad.
Yeah, most definitely.
If I wanted to Google search you and I wanted to find the worst things I could, I would somehow find the worst thing, even if you were the best person on earth. If you go looking,
you
can spin it. Yeah.
You're so spot on. I was about to say, like, the whole charity one and even just helping people, like, how many times have you helped someone and you're just like, you love that feeling of helping someone?
Yeah.
So then you're just like, I want to help more people. But, like, it's just like, you're just doing it because, like, you're getting off to, like, that that feeling of, like, yeah, but look what I did for you.
The feel-good kid.
Like, look how good I am. Look at me. I'm prestigious. What's that? You couldn't afford Macca's, but now you can because I'm here. Yeah. It's just like, no, like, you're just being a dickhead.
There was when we did a couple of clips for, like, feeding the homeless, like, would you do it? And
we got some feedback.
We got some comments, and, like, some of them were just like, one woman, I think she said something along the lines of, like, oh, just give them money because they're homeless. You don't know what they're going through. And part of me was like, well, part of me does know what they're going through. They're homeless, so that's a tick the box there. I know exactly that part. I know
It's a
the
box
other
tick,
stuff.
lovely. Got your little checklist.
But also, part of me goes again, I wonder how much money she's donated to the homeless.
Oh, you can flip it big time.
Because if she gets not donated a cent, she can shut the fuck up. She can shut right the fuck up. Tell me I have to spend my money. Bitch, if you have not spent a cent, you can...
It is funny, though, because there's so many people out there, and even like the ones that's like, oh, yeah, you should really maybe sponsor a child or donate to child. And it's like, well, I'm happy to, but like, are you going to do it? It's like, oh, no, I can't. I've got bills. It's like, well, why should I if you're not? Hang on a sec. Like, and why does that make you a better person than me?
Yeah, there's, man, the world's pretty subtle. Like, there was, I forget, it was a CEO, and it came out the other day, a leaked like Zoom call. She was talking to all her employees, and she took like a $5 million bonus to, or a pay upgrade for herself, right?
Jeez.
And she cancelled all bonuses for employees. So the employees now can't get bonuses at their work, and all these, and the whole Zoom call was all these employees sending emails like, "Hey, what's my motivation if I'm not getting bonuses?"
Correct.
And this woman came on, and she's like, look, I had a boss previously that said you can visit Pity City, but you can't stay there." And part of me was like, I love that. But second, you can't use that on your employees.
Yeah, without them, you're nothing.
Oh, bro. So she's got all these people. It made her look horrible.
Oh, it would have.
Yeah, it made her look terrible.
You would have.
But again, you think of it and you go, okay, well, it's this woman's company, business, whatever. So she owns it. But then, bro, fucking hell. Keeping your staff happy would have to be like
I would feel like it's got to be up there. It's like one of those golden rules.
Right, if we had a heap of employees, right, and we went to them, hey, everyone, we're not doing bonuses, incentives, nothing. You're just getting the minimum wage. Deal with it. Bro, I can guarantee so many orders, so many emails would be stuffed up because no one would care.
The care factor's gone.
Yeah, it's gone.
Completely. And there would be like little to no work that was done. Even like your best employee who might just be like, no, I love my boss. They're going to get to a point as well where they're just like, yeah, no, like this is actually pretty crap.
You need.
You sort of need, especially if you're not a boss or a CEO or a hire. Like I feel like you need to have that sort of incentive or like that bonus. I'm not saying like it needs to be given out all the time, but like at least like a little bit of like acknowledgement of like your hard work.
Yeah.
So you can keep striving. You can keep pushing yourself. There's another goal that you can go to.
Yeah. Yeah, compliments aren't going to do it. There's some managers out there who think like a good compliment's enough.
Oh. There's nothing worse than that.
I'm here for money.
Yeah, correct. I want to get paid.
There was, I know someone who happened to announce happening to the supermarket I worked at. They're getting in trouble because...
Really?
I don't know if you had it, but did you check in? Like you had a system?
Yeah, I had a system where you clock in, clock out, yeah.
So anyway, I got drilled all the time about how you need to clock in 10 minutes early. It's the rule.
Really?
Right? You have to do it. It's the rule. Because you need to get your till, you need to do this. And they always said to me, think about it, right? If you've got 5 shifts in a week and you clock in 10 minutes early for each one, you're nearly near an hour of pay. Right? And that's what it was sold to me as. Like, don't worry, you'll get an hour of pay. And I think you could clock out 10 minutes late as well. So they're saying how much it will add up over time. I'm like, yeah, whatever. All right. So that was drilled into the head. Turns out, not allowed to do that. It was illegal. And they weren't paying us either. So I filled out a massive form the other day. It's like, when did you work at this supermarket? How long? And it's like, how many times did you check in early? And I'm like, every time.
I'll rate that. I would.
So we'll see what happens. Because a person I know, he... worked at Woolworths, and that happened to them.
I was going to say, didn't that happen at Woolworths?
Yeah,
so they had to pay a ton of people out.
He got back pay from that, so...
Hopefully where I work, I get a bit of back pay.
Yeah.
As well.
So, mate, yeah, it's so
probably
funny.
Won't, but...
Yeah,
one can dream.
But, mate, even if I was like, even a cheeky, like, 500 or something...
Oh, you take that, mate. That's pretty awesome.
Put that in the pocket.
Most definitely. I would be very happy with that, actually.
Wouldn't be too bad. Have you had any good like workplace surprise like gifts that have come out of nowhere, or just something that's like a bit of a little bonus?
I wouldn't say where I did work, like obviously being the assistant manager where I worked, that had its perks and all that. Like if you hit this like targets and all that stuff, you definitely will get your bonuses, which was awesome. But as far as like actual things from the company, not really. It was more from reps. Like if like Nestle came out, they might be like, "Oh, our new Kit Kat flavors coming out. Like here you go, here's a block of that." Or if I don't know, maybe like Nestle had something as well. Like they'd be doing the same sort of thing. If you worked in liquor though, you were going to wineries doing tastings. You could like they give you like a free 4-pack, like a free wine, and I'm like the liquor side of it definitely had way more benefits.
Creating alcohol.
It's more or less, but it sounded bloody awesome. They were always going on a tour somewhere. Like I wanted to be doing that. That's grouse. And then at the new job, which I had only been there for, it would have just been just over a month. I got a Christmas bonus and a free bottle of alcohol. I was like a thank you for your hard work, and I was like, I've been here for not like just a month. I don't even really know what I'm doing. And I was like, this is great. I was like, I never got that at my old job. So I guess to answer your question, no, not really. How about yourself?
Yeah, we get a little Christmas, like a $200, $300 bonus, or I think they've tried alcohol, but I've just said to them straight away, please, alcohol.
It's just not for me.
No, like that is going to get re-gifted. Like I've got two.
You'd almost rather the money of the alcohol for your thing.
There's so many times when it's just plain cash would be so much better.
I did actually, I'm so glad that you said that, because when I did work at the supermarket, we would get a Christmas, like our Christmas bonus. I think it was maybe $200 would go into your account, but then $300 was a voucher, and the voucher was just to that specific supermarket. And it's just like, oh, that's kind of like, that's maybe
groceries.
A few. Yeah, I'm like, that's groceries, maybe some break food there. Maybe if you were going away for New Year's, you could use that on like your alcohol. But yeah, a lot of time, I think my brother still has like maybe like $400 worth of just vouchers for the soup, just sitting there.
The hell?
Because he doesn't drink.
Yeah.
He hardly eats.
Yeah.
So it's just like there. Whereas like I'd be like, oh, well, I may as well get a slab of some UDLs then, or like some beers.
I spend it just to spend it. Can you believe this? Before we go, the current dilemma I'm in, and this annoys me so much. Tell me what you would do.
All right.
And I've been really like extremely polite about it.
Oh, okay.
And tomorrow I'm just like, I think I might go in there with a bit of an attitude. So Rebel Sport, I got I got a mouth guard, right?
Oh yes.
I bought a mouth guard. I think it was like $79.
Holy,
maybe 69.
geez.
69.
Is that one of those mouth guards where you have to put it in the hot water and then it molds to your mouth?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, because I had a really good one. I spent like $110. That was like a custom, like a dentist fitted in.
Yeah.
I fucking lost it, and that pissed me off because I put it in, and it felt like there was nothing in my mouth,
Yes.
and I could breathe easy.
I would always get, when for footy, I used to have like those cheap ones from Rebel. Remember I spent like a $20 and it felt like it was like pushing into my gums so bad. Then I had another one, and it tasted like mint. And that one was grouse, but it was just a really average mouth guard. So then I finally got a dentist one made. And I did the mistake of getting my one coloured red.
Oh,
so
why would you do that?
Yeah, I never thought about it. But I remember one time, I think I got laid out in a tackle, like I got bumped. I remember coming up and I was sort of like just taken back by like the force of it. And I was a little bit teary, and I was like, oh, like that. And I was and my mum was like, I think the runner at the time, and she thought that I'd actually like got my like teeth like knocked. It's like, get him off. Like, sort of thing. I was getting carried to the mouth. Like, what's going on? Spit out my mouth.
Mum,
and my mum's like, are you why would you get the colour red? I'm like, oh, I just thought it was cool. Like,
Did she not know?
No, I don't think so.
Does that work?
Yeah, not sure, but yeah. No, so back to your mouth guard though. Your mouth guard issues.
So I went and got one. Some reviews, and anyway, I get like a shock doctor.
Oh, classic.
And I go to use it, and I just see, and it's like junior. So it's for kids. And I'm like, for fuck's sake. So I take it back. I haven't opened it or anything. And I just, this is within like 10 minutes, right? Because I've seen it in the cars. I'm like, oh my God. So you do the turnaround. So I drive back. I quickly go and grab one that's adult. And the adult one was actually cheaper. It was like $59 or $50.
Oh, how does that work?
I don't even know, man. I think maybe it was a high quality one. Anyway, so it's a shock doctor. And I've paid with Afterpay on the first one. So I go up and I'm like, oh, look, I don't know how it works with the Afterpay, but I need to swap this over, and this one's $15 cheaper. Like, how does it work? She's like, oh, it's no dramas at all with Afterpay. It's actually, they've made it really easy now. I'm like, oh, sweet. So she's like, so I'll grab that one, you grab this one, let me scan it, and all you have to do is scan there, and it'll be all back, and it'll even out over the payment period. And I'm like, oh, sweet as. Anyway,
sounds like a great process, by the way.
Oh, that's what I thought too.
Oh,
so anyway,
no.
I pay. I don't look at my Afterpay. So then, after I finished paying, I like looked at it and I was like, "There's 2 payments to Rebel Sport." And I'm like, "What the fuck?" So I go in and pretty much, I've got my $15 back. But long story short, I've now been charged $54.99 twice. So
yeah, no.
So I was like, oh my God. So anyway, I'm like, this is a pain in the ass. And I haven't found out till a month later because that's when it's paid off. And again, I had to pay it off anyway. So long story, I go to Afterpay. No, that's right. I go into Rebel. That's what I do first. I go into Rebel. I explain the situation. She's like, oh, obviously it's a girl who's like 19. I don't know what to do. I think that's like you have to contact Afterpay, actually. Like, we can't give you a return. And I'm like, really? And I was really nice. And she's like, yeah, no, I think, yeah, that's like Afterpay's problem, not ours. Sorry. Like, yeah, have to go through. And like, all right, no problem. Thanks for your help. And I think back to like supermarket days where like I knew for a fact if someone had that type of issue and if they wanted to stay there and bitch and moan long enough, a manager would just give them their refund. But I'm in that. Anyway, go through Afterpay. I think I went through a week of Afterpay doing the emails, the
That
chat
sounds like
to a
hell.
24/7 fucking
bot
like,
thing.
Finally getting an email back, a resolution. Hey, it looks like you haven't been charged twice. And I'm like, oh my fucking God, I show them again. And they're like, if you think you've been charged twice. And I'm like, I know I've been charged twice.
Trust me, I'm looking at the receipts. I'm looking at my statements.
I can tell. Like, and finally, after like a week and a half, they go, this is not actually our problem. You have to contact Rebel online. So then I contact Rebel online. And thank God ChatGPT. Like, ChatGPT just makes like a better
Very
email. Because
professional.
my email is like, oi fuckers, give me my money back, please. Like, and ChatGPT is like, I am
You're sounding very professional, aren't you?
I can't even do it, yeah, but ChatGPT fixes it up. So after
Make
that,
it sound like I'm going to sue.
yeah. Rebel finally get back to me another week later, and they're just like, this is an in-store issue where you have to go in-store. And I go back.
Prints off the email so that way you can sound
Mate,
professional in the store.
I can have the email with me on my phone. I go in, and it's another girl who's in like maybe
Just
18.
doesn't really care.
Yeah. Oh no, she seemed like she cared, but wouldn't know. Like, I knew I wasn't going to get my answers from her, but I was like, I'm not going to be that dude. It's like, can I speak to your manager? I just said, look, this is a situation. Look, there's my proof. I've been sent here. See, this is proof I've been charged twice. I'm just looking to get my $54.99 back. I don't care if it's on card, cash. This is the situation. Spent like 20 minutes looking for the mouth guard that was purchased because you don't have a receipt, do you? And I'm like, no, because it was Afterpay. Like, I just a tap. And so they have to look for the correct mouth guard to do the correct receipt. And I'm like, really, dude? Like, come on. Oh,
It's a bit far-fetched there.
Yeah, in my head, I just wanted to... In my head, I wanted to scream like, this $54.99 doesn't affect you. I remember what it was like working, but this isn't going to affect your day, your bottom line.
It's going to do nothing.
It's fucking pennies
It's
on the dollar.
nothing.
So she calls her manager up and she's like, oh, it's hard for us to return that. And I'm like, I understand that, but I'm going to... And I was really nice, but I'm like, I'm going to get a return because I was charged twice by your store. I am going to leave my money back, like, plain and simple. And she's like, yeah, 100%, no problem. And I'm sitting there being as nice as possible. And she's like, yeah, look, we don't really know what to do because, like, it's hard for us, and I think you have to go through Afterpay. I'm like, no. Again, I've been through
done
that
this.
channel.
This is what they've said.
I've been sent back here. I'm not going through that again. This is where I'm going to get my return. Look at the email that even says it from your company. It's like, yeah, I understand. Look, and this is, I think I was there 35 minutes waiting patiently. Just patiently.
Still 35 minutes out of your
it was so long. I was like, are you
and
seriously?
you can't do anything.
Yeah.
You're just standing
You're just
there
standing
twiddling.
there.
You're off to the side as well while they're serving other people.
Right.
You can come back every now and then when they're not serving those people.
I just politely waited, and then they're like, oh, look, we don't really know what to do. Like, this is a weird situation. Do you mind if our manager calls you and, like, gets it sorted? And I was like, look, as long as I get my money back, I don't mind. That's no stress. Here's my number. Like, thank you so much, and thank you for being understanding. Like, it's all good. I gave them my number a week ago.
You haven't got a call, have you?
No.
I was about to say,
tomorrow I'm going in and I'm getting my money back.
That's fair,
so
man.
I'll let you know how that story goes because it's not going to be as nice. It's going to be more.
I don't think it's as petty. I don't see any issues with you. I don't think that's petty at all. If you've been charged twice, and look, it's $54, $55, but it's still $55 that like should be yours.
Mate, that's dinner with the girlfriend. That's fuel. I'm
That's
fucking getting my
easily
money back. I'm not
girlfriend.
letting that just disappear into the...
No, I wouldn't.
Rebel wouldn't even notice my $54.
Yeah, I was going to say, if it's like $10, I'd be like, honestly, whatever.
If it's $10, I think I would just be like, fuck it. I don't care.
But if it's anything, I reckon 20 and above, it's sort of like, yeah, no, actually, I would rather the money, thank you.
But I'll update you next week how it goes.
Definitely update us on the pod how that goes.
I'm going to make this very clear. Whoever, if it's not the person I dealt with previously, I'm going to be completely nice to, but I'm going to let them know the situation. But if it's who I dealt with, I'm going to be like, bitch, I
would be,
remember me.
But you would be though, because you'd be like, you said that you were going to give my number to the manager.
But I'm not going to get angry at some fucking innocent person who has no idea what's going on.
Watch him be like, oh, the manager's been on holiday. The manager was sick. Because me, as the assistant manager, the amount of times it'd be like, oh, well, can you get my number? And I'd be like, yeah, sure. And then like I would write down the number, but then like I'd lose it. Or like I'd be like, oh, I swear I put the piece of paper there somewhere. And then I'd just be like, hopefully the customer doesn't come in when I'm in, because otherwise they're going to rip into me for sure.
You're just like, fuck, I needed that number and it is gone.
Well, so it got to the point where I would just write everything down on my notes on my phone.
I did that.
And did it that way. And then at the end of the day, I would just collate the numbers and be like, this person wants this product, this is their number. This person wants that, that's their number. Because it just was easier that way.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Morokai with 2 eyes.
We'll see you guys in the next one.
Boom.
Boom.